Alitra.
My name's Alicia.
And we are on the struggle bus tonight, but we are going to make it through.
We were very tired. We had a very busy day. Preparing for our father's 70th birthday party.
Our dad's turning 70, you guys.
We're so excited. We're so excited to celebrate him. He deserves it. He's been such a great dad. And yeah, we even put a lot of hard work into it. And so we are tired.
Wiped out. Oh my goodness. Your girl didn't get her nap today, and we need naps. We run on naps.
Oh, I got my nap.
She got hers, but your girl right here didn't get hers. So I feel like I look it. So, but we're going to, anyway, we're going to jump into this recap, you guys. I'm not sure how I feel about this episode. Overall, you know, it was good, but you know, things
some unfortunate things keep happening.
Yeah, going our way.
But, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting to it.
We're gonna get straight into it. The Challenge 40. Welcome to the Challenge 40 highlights video. This is episode
12.
No,
11. I mean 13.
13.
That's what I meant.
Yep, that's 13. That
Sorry,
wasn't a lucky number 13. All right. But yeah, so as we get into the episode, one of the things that we notice right off the bat, one of our highlights that we see is Josh versus Michelle, or rather Josh and Bananas versus Michelle, you know.
Yeah, it was ultimately started by Bananas. You know how he is. He loves to start things.
But you know what? For me personally, I'm not even going to be against him on this, because this was something that we were saying last episode. Like, Michelle, he can't root for who he wants to root for. Like, that's his friend, too. Like, you're just being sensitive about things. Like, she was getting mad because he was rooting for Bananas and... Who was Bananas? Theo. He was rooting for both of them, and she was just, it's like, girl.
And it was funny because as Bananas is calling her out, she's saying, he can do whatever, but it's like, but you had a problem with that. So now you're singing a different tune. So which one is it, Michelle?
Yeah, and she was just like on a 10 and like just doing stuff.
She was so mad at Josh, and the way that she talks to Josh, I don't like it because I don't feel like she would do that to any other male.
And he doesn't give her that energy. Josh is such a sweetheart, so it's like he doesn't
so respectful.
Deserve that. Yeah, he's very respectful. So
don't take advantage of his kindness.
Yeah, didn't like it. Didn't think that was a good look. Gonna be honest about that.
And I mean, again, like Kylan was saying,
Kylan has some words.
Kylan has words of wisdom. He's saying, you guys, Michelle, like, this is how Bananas plays the game. He's trying to bait you. He is trying to put you two against each other. And you should see that. And he said something else. He
said Josh has a lot of friends, but he has to realize that he can't
not
have
all his
a lot
friends
of
are
allies.
allies.
Yeah, not all his friends are allies. Which...
Solid coming from Kylan. I mean, this is Kylan's 3rd season, and already he has so much figured out. So it's like really impressive. And it's like, guys, pay attention. Like, Kylan is woke. He sees what's going on.
And he is really good at the game. So it's like watching him accomplish so much in just 3 seasons. You just have to wonder, what is he going to do in the future? Because he seems to have a really level head with things and be a great competitor. So those mixed together make one dangerous cocktail. So definitely looking forward to seeing Kylan's future in the challenge. But yeah, that's one thing we noticed right away. That's highlight number 1. Then moving on to highlight number 2, we see the girls bonding. A certain group of girls are bonding over not being Bananas Angels.
And that certain group is Cara Maria, Tori, Michelle, and Olivia.
Yes. They have bonded over not getting foot massages, you know.
Yeah, it's so funny because there's this comedic through line through a lot of this, which is like Cara harping on the feet thing, and then we hear Johnny and his angels literally saying, well, she's things? Just mad that she can't get a foot massage. And so literally it's like the same conversations are being had. So this is like an actual thing. Yeah. So,
but what I took notice of, which I was like, I feel like when Johnny was saying it, which normally he's a funny guy, but I didn't think he was saying it very funny. Like, I thought he was really serious about it. He was like, have you seen those things? And I was like, damn,
he was serious. He was serious for sure.
Like, they're joking, and then you're taking it and being mean. Everybody don't have nice feet. Like, leave her alone.
Don't bully her feet.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Don't bully her
but
bunions.
it's okay because the girls bonded over not having nice feet. Tori said he's always made fun of her big toe.
Her long toe.
Her long toe.
A long toe.
And somebody else, I think Michelle, was saying something about her feet. So they were not going to be accepted in that group regardless.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. So
their feet didn't meet the criteria. But yeah, we love to see, we love to see the bonding. So really like that. Like to see Tori making some friends with people she normally isn't friends with. Cara Marie and her were not friends in the past. And, I think she's kind of being forced to a little bit, but I hope that these friendships are genuine. And it's nice to see, Michelle and Olivia get to be friends with Cara, who I know they look up to, and get to be friends with Tori, who's also a beast competitor. So I'm not mad at it at all. It's a good thing. So moving on to highlight number 3, we're going to keep chugging along, guys. We get
the daily.
I was like, what does that say? Okay.
This is her handwriting.
Y'all was writing a little bit messy. Yeah, she read it better than I understand it better than I do. But yeah, we get into the daily, and we want to talk about, Jenny and Rachel having their plan, which we love how that turned out.
Yeah, but, it's very interesting that they harped on that so much, but maybe that's going to come into play later. Maybe they're going to
maybe it was just like a really
strategize together.
Well, first of all, they didn't have a chamber this episode, so they were they were trying to pull enough footage to make an hour and a half. So let's be honest. So that's one thing to show in the interest of time being dragged out, and also it's just a cool girl power moment, even though
they kept Aviv out of it.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck, why y'all weren't
isn't she an angel too?
Aviv, who actually would need the help more than you two do. Y'all just wanted to powerhouse through it, but Aviv is over here struggling,
left her high and dry, and she almost lost.
Yeah, and exactly. So but anyways, they
had
their
strategy, and they were gonna win.
Yep.
Did not win.
Michelle was doubtful throughout this, just talking about, what was she doubtful about? Just like her abilities.
She had the odds against her. She had to start a whole minute after everyone else. Yeah. She's not feeling very confident in her abilities to maybe catch up and stuff. And
yeah, so again, we have to see that. Don't like to see it, but I understand it. Corey mentions Taylor. Oh my gosh, you guys. We couldn't believe it. He talked about how he had to finally get a win for his girl Taylor. We never heard it. You guys, we hear over and over, I have a family, his daughters. We swear they put a gag order on Corey where he could not talk about Taylor.
Yeah. So, and now I guess that gag order has been...
It has been lifted.
Yeah. And now he can finally talk about her again.
So it's actually nice to hear him talk about his actual girl, who hopefully he puts a ring on her finger.
Literally, soon. I'm sorry, it has to be said. I was like, it was nice to hear him say, my girl. But that is just... They have been together for way too long for that to be the title. Girlfriend would have even been better, because my girl, that could be your homie, for crying out loud. I don't know. It was just not it for me. Of course, we were super excited because we were like, he just does not mention her. And it was still, they could have shown the picture longer. They could have zoomed in on her. They didn't give her any kind of shine, but whatever. And this is coming from people that are not, we're not even fans of Taylor, for crying out loud, but I'm just
okay
saying,
with her. I'm cool.
Well, I'm not a fan of hers, so it's not that I hate her or anything, but I'm not a fan.
She is still mad about her spitting on Alicia.
Oh yeah, that was my girl. Yeah. We don't spit on people.
Yeah, I moved past it. I think she's apologized and genuinely felt sorry for that, prayerfully.
I don't know about all that. But I'm not saying that I don't dislike her. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of her. But I do feel like, put some respect on her name. They could have zoomed in on her, given her a little bit, it was a family picture they showed, and it was far back. I don't know, it just wasn't it for me. Like I said, girl, that's so loose for me. It needs to be, like Anitra said, come on now, y'all done been together for so long, put a ring on it, say it needs to be fiance, it needs to be wife at some point. I feel like that's what she deserves, as someone that has invested so much time into Corey, and they have a family together. Literally have so many, 3 children now, or 2. Am I giving them an extra one?
You're giving them an extra one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she's probably on the way anyway, or he, or.
Well, yes, I want to see them get married for sure. I'm trying not to rush them.
There's some respect on that girl's name. What are you doing?
It's coming. But yeah, it was nice to hear her be mentioned for sure. And we also got a Nelly T shout out, so we're getting all the Corey mentions. Yeah, you missed that. He was like, "Can I phone a friend on the puzzle?" He was like, "Nelly T," and I was like, "I don't know if that's the friend you want to phone."
A friend. No, we do not.
But I love
Nelly
to hear
T.
Nelly's name.
We love Nelson. Oh my gosh, I need him back. I need him back. Yeah. So hopefully he'll come back because
in some kind of capacity.
I feel like he can. Like, why not? They have
I had someone on paraplegic. I don't know, but they had that
people
one guy
on Survivor.
Who was on, yeah.
So
yeah, I think he can work up to it. I think like he said, he's so inspirational, and he's really just putting his faith in God, and God is getting him through it. And his last days will be better. His better days are to come. His
better days are to come, and I'm excited. I'm very hopeful. But yeah, so we got Nelly T mentioned. Didn't even hear it.
Okay. Yeah, didn't even hear it. Gonna have to rewind it back so you can hear it. But yeah, so that is our daily, where we're gonna talk about the daily, and then we get to our highlight number 4, where we got to talk about some winners and some losers. Super stoked about these winners, especially Cara Maria, or should we call her Cara? What do they say? Cara Clutch Maria. Yes. Never knew this. I was today years old when I heard about this nickname, but they mentioned it a couple of times, and we're just gonna call her Cara Clutch Maria because
when her back is against the wall, the girl shows up. Okay. I wouldn't say that I was super excited about the winners. I was super excited about her winning.
I was excited about her
Jordan won.
Yeah, but it was funny though because Jordan didn't want to win, but then he ended up
working out for him anyway.
It worked out for him. I thought it was funny that he won. Everybody was doing so bad that he ended up still getting it. And I love the fact that he had to say, I had to win because Kylan
he's getting a big head, I gotta make sure
I can still win a daily. And I'm like, I love it, man. Keep Kylan's name in your mouth, because keep him on your mind, because he is someone to watch out for. And yes, you need to win.
He has made a name. He's the one to beat. So yes. It was awesome.
To see it, yeah.
Wish Kylan could have won though.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Keep that streak going.
But yeah, so then we get to our losers, Michelle and Corey. Not really happy about either of those winners. We love Corey. I love Corey. I'm not going to speak for her. I think we both love Corey now.
Corey, yeah.
Okay, awesome. We both love Corey
I did not always love Corey. So that's true.
This is a recent development.
I've come around.
Yeah. So, didn't want to see Corey, of all people, get the last place.
He's been playing for a while, you guys, and he has proven himself to be a great competitor. He has been so close, just like Nelson. He's playing a great social game this season. So it's like you really root for these people that have been so close, and they deserve it.
And they want it so bad.
Yes, you want them to win, and they have the reasons why. Great reasons why. So of course, we're both rooting for Corey.
Yeah. So wasn't glad to see him down there. And of course, we weren't happy to see Michelle because we were wanting one of Bananas Angels to win, end up down there,
and
so that they didn't have to go against each other.
I thought
we thought for sure Aviv,
the
who was
table
struggling,
was set. The game was
who was injured.
Ready,
was going to be down there, but oh my gosh, good job, Aviv. Good job. My hats are off to you. Hats off to you.
She did what Derek could not.
Yeah,
she is really surviving. But
I wonder if Eric could have done it. He had a really bad injury. I know.
You said Eric.
Derek. I said Derek. Didn't I say Derek? Y'all, she don't hear my D.
We'll see.
I really wonder if Derek could have done it. Yeah. Y'all just want to hear his name. My cousin's name is Eric. They just want to hear his name. Derek. Hard D. Derek. I wonder if he could have done it if it was an individual game. He had his team still. And the challenges were stuff that were for teams, not duos, him and Rachel. So I do wonder if Derek
I guess to be fair, he really did almost beat Corey in that elimination.
Yeah, so who knows what he would have been doing in his dailies if they were individual when he was there. So
I don't think he was going to do that daily that they did and come out on top. But
probably not.
I guess there's some argument to be said. Yes, for sure. But yeah, this was really interesting because it came down to a puzzle. And the puzzles are really proven to be equalizers this season, you guys, because no leads that anybody was given from getting through there first really came into play. Like, you really had to be good at puzzles in order to continue to keep that momentum and get that W. And that's how Jordan was able to get it. And he beat Kylan, who is the puzzle king. Then you have Kara, which I don't even think she's great at puzzles.
Yeah, I was so proud of her.
And then, of course, it makes sense for Corey to lose, although he started this season having been like, I've been working on my puzzles, and he did good on that one puzzle. But I think it just goes to show that you really want to practice on all the different kinds of puzzles, because there's so many.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could be good at a word puzzle, or you could be good at a math puzzle or something like that. But then when it comes to like whatever they said this was, they had a word for it.
It confused everybody. They said it should not be making a pyramid with balls.
Because Michelle, who is also a puzzle person, could not figure it out.
Yep. So those are our losers. We're happy to see it. There is going to be no deliberation anymore. Sucks for Olivia, because she actually got second place.
I know.
For the girls, but for nothing.
She did so
to no
well.
avail, because Michelle unfortunately couldn't pull out the win.
Beat Aviv.
And so, yeah, Olivia's going in no matter what. Olivia and Michelle, best friends, going against each other no matter what. And that brings us to our highlight number 5, where Michelle is mad. And she's like, I'm going to make someone else mad,
She's like, I'm going to be bananas right now, really, is what she did.
I'm going to be a sore loser.
To say that.
I'm going to be petty. And she was on the bus, and she saw Aviv and Banana's feet touching. And she knew what to say to tick Bananas off. And she said, just a simple, can I be a part of this too? Can I get in there too?
It was something so simple. Something so jovial, it seemed. Something so harmless, it seemed.
And she was right.
And yet it was not harmless.
Shawty cracked the code. And he was pissed, and it was an argument.
And Aviv was hurt. It was very weird the way that it was all addressed. It was just like, why can't y'all just say that she has a husband or a man back home and she don't want these rumors? Like, being said.
She has a husband, she has a family.
Like, because that's literally what it came down to. And I don't know why they couldn't just say that.
Yeah, I mean, we knew.
It was weird. Yeah.
They could have.
Because that makes sense. And otherwise, it's kind of like,
what's the big deal?
Why? Yeah, why are they acting like this?
Their feet were touching.
Their feet were touching. She literally just called attention to something that was actually happening. Maybe she put a different connotation to it, but that's what was happening. So... I don't know. Maybe don't play footsies with someone if you don't want somebody to point it out.
To the massages and stuff, and I'm just like, that's not the same. She's a professional masseuse. Like, that's like setting up an appointment and getting a massage, but your friend in the house happens to be a masseuse, and so she's doing you a solid. To me, that one wasn't the same. Like,
yeah, and to me personally, for me, if I was married, I wouldn't want my man getting massages. I wouldn't want him getting playing footsies. I wouldn't want him doing any of that stuff with anybody else. And the fact of the matter is, if you want to go and you do these things, then be prepared to have to answer for it.
I felt like the massage was innocent. I feel like they're in that house. These people are
she
all
is not with anyone. Oh, that was in reference to Darrell.
Yes. That was a reference to Darrell. And for me, these are freaking old men. Their bodies are sore.
He is she's a masseuse.
And so she gave
that's her day job.
I feel like that's different.
Not, yeah.
It was like a professional thing. Like,
yeah,
I, feel like
I will agree with you on that.
And even for the Aviv and Bananas thing, I also feel like that's something that the 4 of them do. They put their feet in and do that thing. So essentially, it was like them doing that one-on-one.
That's why I didn't think it was a big deal.
It wasn't, but I think Bananas realized it could be. Like, maybe that it wasn't a good idea. Maybe he didn't need to do that. Maybe he could do that with him and Rachel or him and someone else. But maybe he shouldn't have done that one-on-one with Aviv, even though they do that in a group setting all the time. Maybe he realized and felt a little bit guilty and how it felt. Yeah, and it hurt her. It made her feel weird. So he, got defensive. Yeah, that's the way I see that situation.
And I guess it does matter because, like, things don't become a narrative sometimes until you make it a narrative. And so Michelle did put that out there. So I guess I understand, but at the same time, like bananas, you be doing the most all the time. You are a sore loser. You be start mess for Michelle. You have started plenty of messes for Michelle this whole season. So I don't know why he's like playing victim in this situation. Mm-hmm.
But I will
don't play with fire.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at him or her really per se, because she just took advantage of the situation that she saw that I do think wasn't anything, I know it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
I know
it wasn't anything.
So, but she took advantage of that because she knew it would get
to rattle him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at her for doing that because he always does that too. Mm-hmm. But I'm also not mad at him for getting mad and offending Aviv because he, didn't want her to get roped into that or get hurt by that.
Yeah, but it's also annoying when he tries to act like he doesn't do those kinds of things and like she took it too far or something like that. When you do that, like constantly, like you constantly are baiting people and constantly trying to get under their skin and stuff. So.
And I think that's one of those situations where if somebody were to say, hey, but you're getting mad at me and making me a villain for something that you do all the time, then
I needed
if
somebody
someone
to
did
do that.
point that out, which would have been beautiful, chef's kiss, then he would need to be able to take accountability and be like, you know what? And maybe I'm wrong for that. Maybe I've been wrong.
I would really like to hear that from him.
But since they didn't do that, we know that he does the same thing. But, in this situation, I'm just going to say I kind of understand where both of them are coming from. For me. All right. And then moving on to number 6, we get the woe is bananas pool talk where he's in the pool with his with his angels. And he's talking about how everyone's against him or how Michelle took it there and Aviv didn't deserve it and stuff. But I guess, the angels think, and the angels are also talking at this point about how they think Olivia has more integrity. Oh, this is the club scene. That's where they said that at the club. All right. So I guess this highlight number 6 isn't really much of a highlight because now I actually see where Bananas was coming from a little bit. But yeah, he was having a pity party by the pool with his angels, which I guess maybe was warranted a little bit. Moving on to highlight number 7, where we get to the club. The angels are thinking Liv has more integrity than Michelle. That's what they're saying.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say that Olivia, and even at the end, I know I'm jumping this, okay. Olivia's, when she left, she said she can keep her head up high because she played an honest game. So I do feel like this season, Olivia's played a really straightforward, really honest game. She hasn't been in any fights where she's trying to get under people's skin or hitting below the belt. Hasn't been telling
Josh he's being messy or he can't root for his friends or like you said, you didn't like Michelle was taking Devin's side in that argument, and you said you didn't like them together because of that, because you feel like she's being entitled with Josh.
With being rude to Josh.
Yeah, and Olivia hasn't done any of that. So. All right, so maybe there's a point to what the angels are saying. And, we like Michelle, but there are definitely some things. And we feel like Michelle is also a very loyal person who wears her heart on her sleeve. But there's also some room for growth to where we don't have to stoop down. And she even said it later, she felt bad for stooping down to Bananas level. But not even just Bananas level, but be a better friend to Josh and other people.
And stop acting so entitled. I feel like a lot of people just sit here and they play her game. They let her get away with things. They protect
did that last
her.
Season when her and Jay played her and Jay's game.
And it's the strangest thing. And they don't get anything in return for it, really.
Except for guilt trip when they want to do anything that benefits themselves.
Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. So I definitely would agree with them that Olivia has played the game with more integrity.
Yeah. So, just something to think about for Michelle's supporters and for Michelle herself. There's some areas where we can grow and play this game a little bit better. All right. Now, moving also at the club, we get Michelle and Corey talking. And Michelle is putting in Josh, we find out there, which I'm like, wow, that's kind of big, even though they literally just had a fight. But it's still kind of big because that's still one of her friends.
But it's at the same time, it makes sense.
It makes sense for her. I don't think he would put her
is kind of playing on the other side more than the other guys. The other guys, she feels, has her back more than him. They're not playing both sides. So to me, it makes sense. Now, we find out later it's still a hard decision for her because she cares about all of them and she's been working closely to all of them. Now, what was interesting to me is her conversation with Corey. I don't understand why Corey keeps being done so dirty in this game. It's like he has people's backs and they just choose not to have his. Like, this is the second, maybe third time that this has happened. I know it's at least the second time with Josh doing him wrong again, and he's never done him wrong. I want to say somebody else did him wrong as well, but I can't remember who it was. But here we are again. He's literally vocalized to Michelle that she is his number one, and to Cara. So, and I'm pretty sure other people know it, that Michelle is his number one. So for her to be considering throwing him in over someone like Derek, whose clear number one is Olivia, is just really a choice. And I think this could be a really detrimental choice for her, honestly. I think that this could be kind of terrible for her. Like, I don't know why in the world would anybody, why would anybody choose to protect Derek, who is most likely not going to win, to keep you safe? Like, what are you getting out of it?
Episode to do it, so
yeah, he's going to try now because he wasn't trying before, I guess. I don't know.
He's going to try really hard now. So, I mean, you never know what he's capable of doing.
I just personally would not have made that decision. Just saying. The odds of him winning something over Corey are slim. And even if he were to win, he might still protect you. I don't know. It was a choice.
It was a choice. So, yeah, we get that conversation where they're talking. And, yeah, that's his number one. And he's feeling a little uneasy. She has a hard decision to make. Shouldn't really be that hard. But here we are nonetheless. It's a hard decision for her to choose between the guy who says she's his number one and the one who she might be his number two. All right. Anyways, moving on. Then also at the club, we get the announcement that Josh is now part of Rachel's Angels. I guess we have Johnny's Bananas and we also have Rachel's Bananas.
Johnny's Angels. Rachel's Angels.
Which are literally the same groups, but okay. I guess they're switching off ownership, but yeah.
Josh said, I do not belong to your group, Bananas.
He said I will not be called
under
Angel,
Rachel.
Bananas Angel. So, yeah. So he's part of Rachel's group, aka Johnny's group.
And he's jumping ship. And he's saying, you know what? I'm going to stand on it. We'll see how that works out for him.
Oh, he's going to stand on business. All right. But then to conclude this highlight number 7 at the club, we get Tori giving Michelle a much needed pep talk. And it's a really nice moment to see because homegirl is like losing it. She's spiraling bad. And Johnny Bananas, in front of Johnny Bananas to see, she's falling apart. She's crying. Understandably so. Like, it's just not been a good day for her. Like, she dropped the ball, came in last place.
And now she's her or her best friend are going home.
Yeah. And on top of that, even if she wins, she's going to have to choose between these terrible options for her.
Yeah, she's just really feeling it.
Yeah. And honestly, she made that a hard decision. Like, it shouldn't have been a hard decision.
Literally.
So Tori's telling her, calm down, take it one step at a time. Like, focus on winning first and then focus on who you're going to throw in. Like, you're making this way too difficult.
And it was really sweet of Tori because she didn't have to do that. So
it was a wonderful pep talk.
Kudos to Tori.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
That was not the last thing. I guess Anisha forgot something very important happened in the club. And it was a conversation between Corey and Cara Maria.
Oh, I have it right here, but I skipped it for some reason. Okay.
And that was important because we just had left the conversation with him and Michelle and things are rocky and Corey's not feeling good. And swoops Cara Maria because your girl is smart, okay?
And she's like, I've been peeping you and we've been getting along and I feel like we've been working together, but we haven't said anything, like solidified anything. Let's do that now.
Yeah, like, I will have you be my number one. You can be my number one. Because guess what? Something happened last week that has made things end this way. And that is
Theo, Cara Maria's number one, left the game. And so now she has an open spot. Number one spot, wide open for the taking. And
is anybody else entertained by this whole like rosters thing? Because I am like, I'm very entertained. Like, I watch a lot of these reality shows to see the dynamics between people. And so we don't always get to see that on the challenge. Like, I love seeing the relationships and who's close with who. But even though we're not always getting to see it on the challenge, we are being made aware based off of who is having whose backs and who's are being is number ones and twos and all of this. We're getting to know the dynamics, and it's really cool that Theo was Kara's number one. You know, they were partners on
War of the World 1. War of the Worlds 1.
Okay.
And then, unfortunately, War of the Worlds 2, they were on opposite sides and kind of had a falling out. But I think coming into this season, like, Cara Maria felt bad about things. And she was like, you know, I want to prove to you that, you know, I'm sorry for kind of like just letting you go to the wayside and putting you in and throwing you in like that. Because he was on that UK side and he was a force. So they had a gun for him. But, you know, she felt bad about that. She was like, you know, you were my partner.
So it seems that relationship was prepared.
And he wanted to look out for her too.
And they were looking out for each other. And so that's really cool. But yeah, so then we get this moment where Cara Maria and Corey just align. Yes.
The stars have aligned and they have solidified
and
the actual alliance.
If Michelle does me dirty, Cara was like, I got you.
I got that spot. And you were on mine. So
we were all like, okay, that's been said.
It was a nice contingency. It's a nice contingency plan, guys. It's not a bad plan for Cara or Corey.
And it's good to see Cara playing because we haven't been seeing her really playing often. We've been getting her commentary, her comedic commentary, which we all love. But we have not been seeing her like really strategize and stuff. Yeah. So it's nice.
Definitely nice. And I don't know about y'all, I like Michelle, but I would much rather see my boy Corey team up with Cara Maria. So this is a team up that I'm very interested in. So moving on, that brings us to highlight number 8. We have no chamber, so of course we have no chamber business, but we do have Michelle and Aviv, and Olivia is there as like, I don't know, maybe a mediator or something. But Michelle and Aviv make peace.
Oh yeah, I guess she really didn't need to be there because
she didn't do anything wrong.
That's so funny.
She was
I
there
didn't even realize that. Yeah,
support. She's always there. I feel like she was there for something else, or somebody was there. Maybe Michelle was there when Tori and Josh were reconciling. So anyways, this time around, Olivia is the mediator support, and Michelle needs to make amends with Aviv. And big ups to Aviv, because Aviv took that step, and Aviv's not even the one who did Michelle dirty. But
it was such a mature conversation, such an adult thing to do.
She said, I feel like, you know, there's friction here and I don't want there to be any friction. And, you know, she was trying to make peace. And
she was like, but what you said, you know, I do feel like you took it too far. It was hurtful. That is how we handle things, you guys. I cannot say it enough. I like to pull out my hair on a daily basis because people will not communicate with each other their grievances. It's okay to have grievances. They're going to arise. We're not always going to get along, but you need to go to the person and you need to communicate it to them so that y'all can get to a good place. Otherwise, your relationship is just going to continue to break down and it's going to get worse.
How you feel. Yeah. And nobody's communicating how they feel. So big ups to Aviv for just, you know, just being honest about that. She didn't do her wrong. She could have just been like, you know, done with you. But she was like, no, you know, like she did that. I'm going to express myself. That hurt me. And I'm going to express that. And I'm going to try to see if we can reconcile and have peace, because I don't really have any problems with this person. I didn't have any problems with them before. And, you know, I feel like we need to talk this out. And so huge props to Aviv. And I'm glad that, you know, Michelle was able to listen to her and be like, you know, I'm sorry. Like, I took it to a place that I shouldn't have taken it to. You caught astray, and I shouldn't have innocent people catching strays just because I dislike this man so much. And I should.
It was big of all of them. We had a woman supporting women moment, and they were able to make up and be good.
Awesome moment. And that brings us to highlight number 9, where we get Corey and Michelle part 2. It's never good when you have to have a part 2 conversation, but he's pumping her up and saying, you got this, and then talking about, you know, I don't want to put any pressure on you and stuff like this, and just really kind of like encouraging her.
They were having light-hearted interaction, making, you know, light of the fact that she was going in. And
she's about to be a 3-time elimination winner. And she's like, that was my plan all along. And, you know, just making light like
it was cute banter, but then it turned serious a little bit.
Of course, it has a weird feeling.
Yeah, and so, like, when we're hearing that, like, we're automatically going to be like, okay, he's going to be targeted. Because, like, everyone knows that they don't film their confessionals, like, beforehand. So, I don't know why they be
the timing
doing
of
all this sometimes. Yeah, but I guess if you had a bad feeling, you had a bad feeling, and he probably did have a bad feeling then. So
yeah, it just sucks because I had like a glimmer of hope, just because they did show the scene where Derek, they were talking about Johnny Bananas and Jenny was talking about Derek and how he's been dodging bullets and stuff. And he was like, you know, hopefully he can keep doing that. And I was like, that could also be foreshadowing as well. Like, maybe he won't be able to dodge the bullet this time. So, but I should have known because it wasn't anything said in the confessional. It was just something that was said then. So it's a good inclination that it will bear no fruit. But anyway, so yeah, he's not feeling good. And on the flip side, we also get, for that highlight number 9, we get a vulnerable Liv and Michelle moment right before the elimination where they're talking about how sad this is, and Olivia's talking about how she comes into these games and she doesn't really let anybody in, and you know,
she's had a hard life and she doesn't really trust people in general.
But she feels like she's finally found her place here on the challenge. Like, she's found people that she has let in and that she trusts, and you know, she likes competing, and she lives in Alaska and has done all these sporty things for a long time. And I guess I'm adding stuff. She didn't say all that here, but she's found her place is what she's saying. And it's really beautiful.
It was really sweet.
Is that where she also revealed that she wants to be a mom, or did she say that in the elimination?
That was in the elimination.
Okay. All right, guys. That stuck out to us. We love that. But moving on past that, because we didn't get to it yet. Go ahead.
I did want to say, I just love like hearing them talk about their friendship and reflect on that, because like I said, I do watch a lot of these shows for the dynamics and the relationships to see, you know, how people get along and stuff. And it really touched my heart to see Olivia form such strong bonds, you know, and we know Nerys went out early, but her and Nerys were able to mend their friendship and they came in as best friends. So I think I really find Olivia inspirational in a way, because I feel like it's so funny because she says it's hard for her to let people in and to trust people, but I feel like she really has great relationships come out of the show. Like,
I think that's why she feels like it's a home.
It's a testament. I'm like, you're doing something right. She has met so many
great people that she actually has let in and made bonds with, and it just makes me kind of like want to go back to her first season and like see those bonds actually like build from the ground up, because she has some really strong ones. And that's really cool, because everybody doesn't
admirable. Because I feel like, you know, I have great friends, but sometimes I struggle with maintaining those relationships. I always feel a closeness because I don't have to, you know, spend time with people 24/7 in order to maintain that closeness. But everybody's not like that, and so I don't know. It's inspirational to me to see her have these people speak so highly of her. And it's not just her being like, these are my best friends and it's so hard for me and blah, blah, blah. They're saying the same things. And so it's just, you know, I think she's doing good. You're doing good for yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, it's beautiful to see.
Yes. So yeah, then moving on to our final highlight, we get, you know, our elimination, which wasn't like, it was a good elimination for the most part. The thing that makes me not like it is kind of like with the daily. I don't really like it when puzzles really determine the outcome. Like, I do think that the puzzles should be difficult. Like, it shouldn't be too easy, but I also feel like it should matter how fast you do the first part. Like, it shouldn't matter how fast they got through that first part. That should have determined who got the puzzle done first a little bit, or, you know, I don't know. That's how I feel.
If Olivia wasn't so bad at it, I don't know. Yeah, it was really sad because Olivia she killed it. She had a way better strategy, and she made that DNA ladder so fast.
And she was climbing up it. I don't know if y'all noticed, but she was like climbing up it, like on the sides, like shimming up the sides, instead of using the rungs, because the rungs were so flimsy that they kept falling out when they tended to do that. And that's why Michelle knocked so many of hers out. But Olivia somehow was able to climb that way. And not only that, but, you know, Michelle's strategy seemed better when you thinking about it, because you're like, you should get all your ducks in a row so you know what sizes, because there's so many different sizes. But when you think about it, they could only move 2 at a time. So if you get everything ready, you wasted so many time doing that, and you can only go at a certain speed, taking so many at a time. So Olivia's strategy of just get moving and getting something done and figuring it out on the fly
was
actually planned to be a better strategy, because you're able to be more productive with the time that they give you.
Very similar to Michelle's last elimination challenge with Naya, where you kind of didn't want to just do all the math at once, because then you still have to move those boxes, and you can only really move them one by one. So you need to like be moving them, moving them. So it's very similar to that, actually.
Yeah, so it's crazy because she had the better strategy there, but didn't have the strategy with this one.
Yeah, but she still prevailed because Olivia could not figure out what that thing was saying. I don't know why she stacked a lot of her letters, like the multiples. I don't think that was a good thing to do. Michelle had the better strategy there with laying the letters out in the sand.
Yeah, so you can see every single individual letter and not them stacked up. You can't even tell how many is underneath it. Is it 2 or is it 3? So
it was a very tragic elimination to watch, because it was just like Olivia was doing so well, and then the puzzle is what took her out.
Yeah, but I also, on the flip side, was happy for Michelle too, because Michelle was doing well. She had her strategy, which seemed in the end not to be the best strategy, because you need to be on the move, but she still was able to make up so much time. The only reason she finished a little bit after Olivia was because she knocked so many of hers out. So I was glad she was able to not suffer too much from knocking them out like that, and was able to recover and still win. Like, I was happy. I would have been happy either way, honestly. So,
yeah, don't get me wrong. By any means, I'm not upset that Michelle won. Like, I think it's very impressive. This was her 3rd time down in the sand this season, and she's prevailed. So she is showing people that she deserves to be on the season, and that she is a force, and that's incredible. On the flip side, I do feel like overall Olivia has performed better than her this season. So I do feel like it was a little bit tragic to see her leave, because I do feel like she could have actually done more, than Michelle in the grand scheme of things.
That's what it's looking like, odds-wise.
We'll see what Michelle does. Like, she might defy the odds. She can defy the odds, and she's shown us that time and time again. But I do feel like I would have loved to have seen Olivia go on and like do some damage, because I do think that she is capable of it. So,
but I will say she went out such a class act.
She did.
Like her, I'm so glad that she was chosen to be on this season. Like, you know, a lot of people, including us a little bit, may have washed our hands of her, been a little bit upset with her, and didn't really want to see much more of her.
Yeah,
but
she made us
I'm glad we got to, you know, see her. And like Nerese was able to mend things with her, us viewers were able to, you know, also be like, gain some peace with her and be able to support her again, and realize that we're all human beings and we make mistakes.
Forgiveness is huge, y'all.
So it's all about owning up to your mistakes. Accountability is also important. Forgiveness is number one, because you want to be able to forgive people whether they take up accountability or not, because forgiveness is good and healthy for us, so we don't hold those grudges. But I'm also happy that Olivia didn't make it too difficult for Nerese to forgive her, because she was apologetic and taking accountability for what she did. So, yeah, I'm glad we got to see Olivia on this season. She was a treat, and also, you know, she got her man out of things. So
yeah, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna go see my man.
So the lovers went out back to back. She didn't have to be in that house too long without him, but now Olivia is there. Not Olivia. Michelle is there without neither one of them. But she still has support in Cara and Tori and Kylan. So hopefully, you know, she'll realize that and she'll be okay. But, you know, that's not the last thing that happened.
I do want to say, while she's getting the paper to see what was the last thing, the song that they played, Perfectly Alone, I remember the name of it, because I was like, man, this is like so fitting. What y'all think about that? I thought that, you know, I've noticed, I think, another week where they were playing a great song during the elimination round, that I was like, this is so fitting. So kudos to editors.
That's some good music this episode for sure. I like the song they played during the daily as well. So the music's definitely getting better from what it was seasons ago. I gave them a critique about that. I was like, this music is not it. So I'm glad that they're playing good music again.
Somebody's being very methodical back there. So
very good. And we started mentioning it earlier, but we just think it's so sweet and endearing that Olivia wants to be a mom.
Oh yeah, that was, oh my gosh, that was so
precious. It's one of the most innocent, pure, simple.
And she was like, she was
dreams.
playing for her family, but it was like her future family, you know? Like I was just like, oh, that's
very
so like
pure. It's very
it's pure,
beautiful.
it's relatable.
Yeah. And I'm excited for her to have a family one day. I think she'll be a great mom. I do.
And
so we want that
Theo
for you.
by her side. Who knows?
Put a ring on it. Okay, I'm just kidding. But yes, we ship it, and definitely looking forward to Mom Olivia. And I pray that and hope and pray that it's everything that she dreamed and hoped and more. So, but yeah, Josh, need to mention this. Josh was cheering so loud for Michelle. It was almost sad knowing that what was coming toward him. I was like, maybe she won't be able to do it.
It felt like a last ditch effort, almost a little bit.
Almost, yeah, a little bit. I will agree. And, she could easily see it that way to justify it. Be like, he was just doing that because he knew I was going to win. Or, it doesn't change anything.
The two of us, that's who he wanted to come back. But
yeah, he knew I was the only hope that may not throw him in, because Olivia's definitely throwing him in. So, anyways, I'm glad she was still able to do it, because it gave us hope that she wouldn't throw Corey in. But that's the final thing of the episode.
She threw him in, y'all.
Yep.
And Kara was like, ah.
And he looked over there at Kara, and she was like,
okay, that was a positive that came out of it. But girlfriend, Michelle, I just don't know that was the move, because if Corey goes down there, odds are, I really do believe that he can beat Johnny and Josh, honestly. So if he sees the sand, or whoever he's down there against, well, not Kylan, not Jordan, but if he's down there against Derek, Bananas, or Josh, I think he can beat them. And guess who's going to be choosing the targets next? He is.
And guess who no longer has a reason to not say your name? Him.
I just don't think the same thing would have happened. Like, even if she put Derek down there, odds of him beating whoever weren't there. I don't think they were there. But anyway, I guess regardless, she's going to be a target. But
she went with her emotion. Like, I can see how it happened, because she just lost a friend, Olivia, and so she's feeling like, oh, I owe her something, or I don't want to lose her, and so she makes this sentimental decision to save Olivia's number one. Girl, don't play that way. That was not it. That was not the way.
Michelle should know better than that. Honestly, she's such a great strategic player.
But the problem was that what was the obvious decision, she never knew. She was so conflicted on it. So it always left the door open for her to make a terrible choice, in which I think
people always make terrible choices when it comes to Corey. I don't know why. But Kara didn't. So kudos to Kara.
Yeah, and prayerfully Corey is able to prevail, because we are enjoying him this season, and we are rooting so hard for him.
But we're in the home stretch.
Yes, and it would suck. But anyways, that is our episode. Thank you so much for watching. This elimination was better than last week's elimination, where we felt like Theo didn't stand a chance. It was nice to see an elimination that was kind of equal for the most part. The girls' eliminations have been a little bit better than the guys. We had Mario Kart for them, and Ryan can't drive, and Theo being tall and can't maneuver. So yeah, but anyways, just wanted to stick that in there. But pretty good episode for the most part.
Yeah. And I want y'all to be mindful of the fact that we have 5 women left, 6 guys left. Next week, it'll be 5 and 5. And I'm pretty sure we probably are just getting rid of one of each more before we hit that final.
Wow, so we actually might end things this year.
That'd be awesome.
Because I just knew we weren't. So that would be very cool if we were. So yeah, it would be nice to know who won this year.
Like another season to start filming.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We love y'all so much. Please like, comment, subscribe,
Give us your thoughts. We want to know what you're thinking about this episode. Whose teams are you on?
Yes. Who are you rooting for? Y'all know who we're rooting for. And we'll see you guys next week. God bless y'all.
God bless.